Greetings and salutations. Well, I am Karen Russmore, and things seem to be getting a little bit weird here. That's not telling me anything. Sorry, I'm just checking the video. Twitch seems to be having a bit of a moment right now. Which is a little bit concerning. Hopefully, well, I'm guessing I'm live because basically this laptop knows nothing about this computer and it's still getting the feed, so hopefully it's working. The only thing is, chat doesn't appear to be working too well. There's no description of the video, there's no channels down the side, so maybe there's something up with Twitch. Won't be able to tell until somebody maybe gets here and goes, hey, do you know that you've got a problem with your stream and it's not doing this? So anyway, this is session 38. I'm trying to name the number of these sessions as I go along, and one of the things is it's all like, the main reason why I know that something is up over there is because over here it's telling me that it's failed to update the information on the stream. So doobly what's it, flibbity flob. So yeah, it's session 38. It's not session 37, but it might say below the video that it's session 37. So that's going to be confusing when I come to upload it to YouTube later, which is why I'm starting to number these things, because apparently I've got it wrong a couple of times on YouTube. We're missing session 25 and we're missing session 12 part 2. Unfortunately they are gone. There's no getting them back, I'm afraid. Twitch doesn't keep them. I'm not important enough for Twitch to keep them for any reasonable length of time. I say reasonable length of time. They keep them for 2 weeks, and then because I'm not affiliate, they get deleted. I think if you get up to partner, they'll be sticking around for like a month or so. But even so, you know, 25 was 10, so that's 5 weeks ago, so that will probably already be gone, and 12 is just long gone by now. Hence my uploading to YouTube, but that only works if I get it right. And there's a couple of cases where I didn't. So with that, it's one of them where it's like I have a plan, and then as soon as things start going wrong, it goes right out the window. So I do believe that's everything I want to say. We're actually up to 37 followers. I think I'm up to 37 followers. Let me just double check that. Twitch.tv/me. Bum bum bum. So yeah, it's not actually going to tell me. Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there is something up on the creator side of these at the moment. It's not telling me anything about. Oh, that actually working? I mean, that's not great. Yeah, no, that's not really working. Okay, yeah, let's forget about that. I'm either up to 37 or 38 followers. I might still be on 36. I might have updated it before. But anyway, we're not here just to talk about all the problems with Twitch. We're here to play Pathfinder Kingmaker. Let me just okay, I need to close. Sorry, it really has thrown me for a loop. Right. So I want to close that so it doesn't make any noise and disturb the game. I want to kill the music, which I've already done, congratulations me, and go switch over to the game. And then click on load, and click on load. And my video's just gone down on the other side of the thing. Yeah, I've just been kicked off my video on Twitch saying there's an issue with it. I hit refresh and it comes back, so if y'all having problems, Sorry. Just hit refresh. Oops, excuse me. And it'll come back. Hopefully it's recording everything. That's a slight concern. If it's not recording. Problem is, if I start recording it to my computer, it does it in much higher quality than Twitch does it, which means it's not an 8 GB file. It would be, you know, I think it takes about half an hour to generate 8 GB, and then run it through shed loads of compressions to get it down to a reasonable size for when I was recording my Command and Conquer series, which I still need to get back to at some point. It's gone, but not forgotten. I might get back to it sometime. I might not. Who knows? So yeah, I'm just going to have to hope that it's uploading. And saving it. If it's not, then there might be another omission in the YouTube listing. And this one won't be my fault. Okay, so we were just kind of, well, we need a greenstone who is staying in Lake Silver Step, and she wants us to find her an emerald, but give us no indication of where to find an emerald. So that's going to be fun to try and find one of them things. I'm mainly just exploring at the moment. For out of interest as to, yeah, this is the weird thing. It's like I can't get over here in my domain because if I go up that way it blocks me because of I'm entering Varnhold. If I go any which way to Varnhold of this area, then they stop me and just jump me straight there. I mean, let's go here and let's see what's here. Why not? Sounds like a plan to me. Watch this just be totally over-leveled for my level and just kill me instantly. It's been a very cold day today. Oh, it is a mine. Okay, let's have a look. We're level 10. 118,000, need 155,000. Ridiculous numbers. Feels weird that there's a... Well, no. I suppose it's not too weird. Edible moss. Greater giant spider.
All according to plan.
Greater giant spiders. Collect that edible moss.
I'm listening.
Tristan... Let's have a bless. I really need to go through this guy's things. Let's do this. Let's actually clean up his bars. Touch of good, touch of rebuke death. Touch a living creature is a standard action, healing at 1d4 plus 1 for every 2 levels you possess in your class that gave you this domain. You can only use on this below 0 hit points. I mean, okay. Touch of good. You can touch a creature as a standard action, granting a sacred bonus to attack roll, skill checks, ability, blah blah blah. Equal to half your level in the class that gave you this domain for 1 round. That is impressive. And my video on Twitch has just gone again. But at the same token, it's only for the 1 round, so it's not great. But let's put that there. Let's put that there. It's saying that this is, as a standard action, the Eclothurge can bless one ally within closer range. A blessed ally against +2 sacred bonus on attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, saving throws, and AC until the escalations end next turn. can spend a channel to extend the duration to the number of dice of his channel energy. Okay, so that wants to go there. What's this? The standard action, the Third can bless one ally within close range, given +2 bonus. Can expend one. Oh, that's if I want to use the one as a long. That'll expend a charge. This won't. Okay, so let's put that there, and let's put that there. Right. Is there no? There's no way of just clearing these out. Touch of Good we've already put down there. Holy Lance. At 8th level, you can give a weapon you touch the holy weapon's special quality for. Okay, so that won't be too bad if we were going against the unholy. The lesser meta magic empower lesser empower meta magic rod. That'd be really useful if I just keep it active all the time, and I would forget about it. So I'm actually just pretty much going to ignore that one. There's nothing on his belt, because if I think about the belt, then I'll come here. And I think to a certain degree I do still want that rod right at the end, just in case I want to turn it off. But let us, right, so I can't remember the last time I've ever used any of these. It's one of them where it's like, I probably should use light more often, but I just don't think that it does enough, apart from creates funky shadows on the floor. I can't say that I've seen much in the way of combat where it's like, oh, you're blind, you can't see what's going on. That one's pretty much useless. Duration a minute. Well, it's not useless, it's just like trying. See, this is the difference between a tabletop game where it's like, oh yeah, I want this just to continually cast on my character, you know, light for example. Duration is 10 minutes a level, and it's like, oh, the GM will describe, okay, you're going into a dark mine, as it was in this case, and it's like, I cast light, it's a cantrip, I'll just keep it up. And in Pathfinder 2nd edition, they've actually extended the duration. I think it's to 24 hours. It might be to 8 hours. It's still just a cantrip, so it's like, yeah, you cast light, you can now see, but remember, you've got your light on. And if you're trying to sneak around with a glowing light above your head, that's not going to work in a month of Sundays. So, you know, you can just be like, yeah, we're in a dark place, I cast light, and you remember that it's on. But when it comes to this, where it's like, you know, you've got little things where it's like, that is 90% useless right now. Does he have any other alternatives?
Right here, my friend.
Spell book. 0 level. No, it doesn't have any alternatives. Virtue. With a touch, you infuse a creature with a tiny surge of life, granting the subject +1 temporary hit point for a minute. Are you really going to be pausing the game every minute to cast that on your 6 party members and then step? So a round, which is how long a standard action, which is its casting time. I could cast it on everybody here, giving them 1 temporary hit point. That would take 6 rounds. It lasts for a minute. So then I move forward for 4 rounds. And at that point, it's worn off the first person. The first person, so then you need to spend a round casting it on the first person again. But then it wears out on the second, then it wears out on the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and then you can walk forward for 4 rounds. You're never going to do that. But at the same token, it's like you could, with your GM, sort of like, yeah, I don't want to role play this out that we're creeping forward while we're in a group, I would like to bless everybody with a virtue and give them 1 temporary hit point while we're moving along. And it's like, yeah, at the start of combat, as long as nobody's split off from the group for a minute or so, you can all have 1 temporary hit point right at the start of combat. That's not a problem. Guidance is another one where it's like, in this, I don't know how much / well it applies. Because one of the things is, when it comes up with Lindsay's narrative screen, when it comes up with the narrative screen and we choose your own adventure stuff, and it's like, oh, you know, do you want to use survival to track them or perception just to look for them? And it's like, I'm going to go for a perception. In a tabletop game, you know, the cleric will just go, if they remember, they don't always remember, it's no fault on them, you as a party could remember, is if you say, oh, I'm going to take a look around for them, the cleric will just put their hand up and go, guidance, and everybody knows it's a +1, so it's like, alright, roll the die, add on the stat number plus a 1 competence bonus check. But in this, it's all like, I forget to do it when it's not in this. When it's in the narrative section, I'm not sure if it counts. So it's a little bit pointless, if you ask me. I mean, the light's kind of good. But again, it's one of them that I'm just going to forget about. But I'm going to put it down there so that I actually start remembering. Alright. Bless. Bane. That is going to annoy me because it keeps going off. Remove fear. I forget that I haven't even prepared. Fairy fire. Bull strength. And then down this side we're going to go with sphere lesser restoration. Remove paralysis. Bear's endurance. Scorching ray. See how much of a mess these have been made of. Prayer. Blindness. Archon's aura. Remove blindness. Searing light. Protection from energy communal. Restoration. Summon monster. Freedom of movement. Controlled fireball. And break that out for the final level of spells. Angelic aspect. Constricting coils. And flame strike. And as long as I don't change his spells. It might actually help me remember that I actually have a fair number of spells.
Serves you right. I'm writing you out of our story.
Nice. Alright, let's try refreshing the screen again, see how long it holds up. Again, I hope it is recording.
This should do it.
Okay, so we've got 4, it's saying 5. Where's number 5? 5 is out deep, okay. It's a surprise round, so let's get Amory up in the biz. Nice. And Valerie also comes into play. Tristan will probably just shoot that guy. Oh, Tavia will move forward because she's got slightly less range. Nice. Took out the spider before it caused any great problems. It's still going to come after me because I was the first one to run up ahead.
You deserved it.
Let's get rid of that one. Turn around and hit that one again. Nice. Probably didn't need to do the blast. Didn't need to go all out on this, but spiders are one of them things that they really do. They can be crippling because of the poison that they inflict. Hey, congratulations on all catching up. And you might just be in time. I can't actually... There's something squiffy with Twitch at the moment. And it keeps timing out the video and telling me that there's an error. Which isn't too bad, you just hit refresh, but it's one of them things. I'm paranoid that it's not even recording this, so it might actually go missing the entire session. I pretty much just started. I'm not really sure what I'm doing at the moment in terms of plot, so I've just come into this mine. What's it called? Ironstone Gully. It was a random place on the map that I figured I'd go to and see what it's all about. And I've also just sorted out
Any last
Tristan's
wishes?
actions bars. Yeah, I've got the same. It's weird. It's all I'm logged in. I can see that I'm logged in. I can't get to any of my moderation tools. I can't see my favorites. I can't even see the details for my own stream. And every now and again, it'll go blank and say that there's been an error, and I have to refresh the window. And
This is where I step
if I go into my account into the streamer side of things, it will tell me that, or it will just fail to load any of that. So I can't even tell if this is recording or not. It's streaming, which is good. Recording, no idea. I hope it is, because I kind of want to load the video afterwards to YouTube. But like I say, you're just in time on the catch-up, because it might be a case that if this doesn't get recorded, I'm not sitting here and going through it all again.
This will hurt.
I probably shouldn't have bothered buffing
Serves
for
you
this fight.
right.
There we go. Are there any squiffy ones? There is not any squiffy ones.
You deserved
And
it.
it's gone again. Annoying thing is I can't just hit F5. It doesn't allow for it. I actually have to... There's a thing that prevents the keyboard from getting jabbed and the mouse pad from getting jabbed, because it's set up to be plugged into my usual keyboard and mouse. And I have to flick that down and then flick it back up once I've clicked the
You
button.
forced my hand.
It's not an ideal situation for dealing with anything on the laptop, but more often than not, there's not much going on. Make that one explode. It did not explode. You have failed me.
Any last wishes?
There we go. Bit of a delayed explosion, and it didn't exactly explode.
Let us strike as one.
Talia, can you finish
This
that
is
one off?
for you.
Nice. I don't think this has been updated, but it seems to be responding slightly better. I'm not sure, but I don't think you're getting your dex bonus to damage with your creaky. I mean, when I switched out from the daggers, see, these are finesse weapons. Or finesse wielding. I think I am. Because where's that 9 minimum coming from? Yeah, 1d4 plus 7 slashing. Almost 7 will be the dex. Kariki finesse class. I'm not entirely sure. Once you made this choice, I mean, one of the things is go martial tab and check. Not sure what I'm checking for here. I mean, the thing is, over here it's saying that the damage is 1d4 plus 7 slashing. And then 1d6 fire. And 1d6 cold over there. Because the other thing is, if I go to my inventory and put in a dagger, I can't because we're in combat at the moment.
I'll try to make this switch.
I'm pretty sure that I'm getting my bonus. Or at least they're much better than the weapons that I was using.
Way.
Oh look, more spiders. What fun.
This is where I step in.
Let's see, another annoying thing about this is every time I click the button it clears the chat, so if I miss any messages I do apologize. There's not much I can do about it until Twitch gets itself sorted out.
I'll fight if I have to.
I'll try and get rid of that one before it decides to eat one of the smaller people. I know, it's just gonna come charging straight at me. Because why not? I do really dislike the AI in this. For the bad guys, it's just like too many times where it's like 6 spiders spawn in the room, and unless it's been engaged like Valerie did for that, they've all just come after me, and it's like, why is that a thing? Take care of that one. Nicely done. Also, the thing about the chat, because I can't put this into mod mode, my mod mode, the chat stream is on the left hand side of the screen, out of mod mode it's on the right. And I have it so that it's just in my periphery there, and if anything comes up, I'll usually notice it fairly quickly. Because it's the other side of the screen, I'm not used to it being there, and also the whole thing keeps going off. God, that's going to get annoying for the next 3. Oh, dear God. More spiders.
To victory!
A calculated risk.
To that, no. Okay, it's got concealment. Can you charge at somebody?
This didn't work.
What do you mean it didn't work? Yeah, I've had to refresh it a couple of times in the last few minutes that I've been streaming. I have no idea what's up with Twitch right now.
Repent! Saren Ray, be generous to them. for I am not.
Serves you right.
Bless his still. That's a good thing. And hey ho, they've all come after me again. Surprise, surprise. Oh, that's that one down. And another one gone.
Do not falter! Ha!
Just Nightbot mentioning about the little mascot I have there. And who you can contact if you wish to have custom art for whatever you
You
want.
forced my hand.
And the
This
spiders
will
go
hurt.
pop. Pop! Oh god. What a time for a natural one.
Onwards!
Let yourself open.
Right, it's finally stopped throwing creatures at me. That was not worth the trouble. It seems very weird that this is here. Now when we get out to the main map,
How may I help?
let's burn this and... No, shoot. Oh, good, it didn't. Played other games where that would have burnt the spell, but apparently it doesn't. It seems like a very easy fight for what's currently going on my level, which suggests that I'm over leveled for this. Sure, charge at that one. Because you can crit and sneak attack. I do like these Kuriki.
This is for you!
It's not Kuriki.
I'll try to make this swift.
Kukri. That's the word that I'm looking for. Kukri. And go for one at the back, because why not?
Let's try this way. This should do it. So it's come to this.
Yes, Tristan, it's come to this. Yeah, Kitschy Guy, the chat is kind of working. I can't get into mod mode. It is just gone. Sorry, unless you have a time machine, that content is unavailable. And it's like, it's my own content, and I'm pretty sure it's happening right now. I know that because I'm looking at it. Oh, I've started to get bits and pieces back. I've now got my followed channels back. Although it's also saying that this room is no longer in followers only mode. This room is no longer in slow mode. So yeah, if it blips, just give it a refresh. Hopefully it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Twitch is having a moment, but things are starting to come back. The last time it had a moment, when it started coming back, it very rapidly all came back online. But I've only ever seen Twitch sort of like have the moment twice now. And the first time it was so like I was watching a video on Twitch and a friend of mine basically said, I'm going live but not on Twitch because it's down at the moment. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm watching a video on Twitch. How is it down and I'm watching a video? And some poking around and it's all like it was down. And then as I was trying to find out how long that was going to be down, it decided to come back up again. So my streams weren't disrupted. But at the same token, it's like, with that, it was pretty much just straight up down. This is down and might be coming back up. I can't tell very well. But anything, oh, there's a thingy in here. What's in the box? A silver buckle. Potion of resist cold, meat, herbs, and a token of the dryad. And 24 gold pieces. Oh. I'm going to get fatigued for such a long time. But yeah, one of the things it's doing is every time that it throws me an error, it's clearing the chat log. So if anybody said anything that you feel that I've missed, say it again. I can't get into mod mode, so if somebody comes in here and starts spamming stuff, we're just going to have to deal with it, I'm afraid to say. And yeah, I'm just mainly hoping that it's actually recording this, because if it keeps on erroring and it gets too much for anybody, I'd recommend that you just leave it. I'm probably not going to get up to much of too fantastic this session. I don't know. You never know when it's going to throw you a curveball in this game.
Here I am. See.
I'm not afraid.
But hopefully, if it is recording, a copy of it will be going up on YouTube after some amount of time.
Do not falter.
And it's just gone again. Whee! God, that is annoying. Oh no, my favourites have gone again, so. Alright. Start poking holes in the centipedes. Hey! Charge! Tristan, go deep. No, you can't go deep. When you ride it, oh, can I delay you until the next round? Yes. That thing is going to move, and then that thing is going to move, but then it's going to be Tristan. Yeah, Twitch living up to its name. Twitchy as hell. I mean, it's kind of impressive what they do manage to do. God knows how many people streaming videos and watching videos all at the same time. Do you now not have a full round? I want you to move forward up to there. And then, because everything's so squishy around here, I want you to throw a fireball at that one. There we go. That just cleared up a lot of the screen. Now, murder that thing. Murder the thing next to you. No? Okay.
Stay behind me.
It's a little bit annoying, that 5-foot
You
step
deserve
movement
it.
kind of thing. Ooh, nice. 3 points of damage on 2 arrows. Crossbow bolts are. Oh, damn it. I got a poison.
I'll fight if I have to.
Alright, let's see if I can remember how to do this.
A
I mean,
calculated
apart from the murder. Itchy.
Oh!
I think it tried to do something daft. take out that one. Alright, Tristan, use. You should have an ability. Tree Deflection on Chiron. Hey, we successfully got rid of the poison. It's not remove the dex damage, but it's not as much damage as it could have been if I kept on failing that save. It breaks it down a little bit. Let's get one of my attacks. No, that's hitting me. So yeah, it's 2d4 times plus 7 times 2, so that's 20 points of slashing plus 1 fire damage from my fire kukri, which means that I rolled a 3 on the 1d4 to get a 20. Although I didn't think you were supposed to double the modifier in first edition. So it's just a 7 include BAP. The plus 7, no, I think the plus 7 is no, because there's the attack roll, which includes your base attack bonus and your dex bonus, and morale bonus, and mother's warmth. -2 for the piranha strike, -2 for other, which it doesn't tell me. It's possibly the multi attack or the offhand. And then it tells you their AC.
Let us strike as one.
You can't stop me.
3 points of damage. Woo.
This will hurt. I didn't even break a sweat.
What's that?
I don't know. You just said what's that, and I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's that. And Twitch is gone again. Hey! To a certain degree, some stuff has come back. I can now get into mod mode. No, I can't get into mod mode. It tells me that I can get into mod mode, but the moment I click on that, it just comes up with an error message. Profile image can be selected. It's not coming up with all the details of the screen. Great stuff. But at least it's telling me my followed channels now. That's fantastic.
Repent!
Yes.
Do not falter.
Bottom. Nice.
Consider me provoked.
Let's try this way.
Yeah, down to the bottom. Sort of red tint of red on the stone suggests a location of rich iron ore laying around. Headband and lowering charisma +4. Chocolate and dog tags. Oh, we can just step down there to make it easier for getting out. And I forgot to pick up the edible moss, but I'm pretty sure I'll survive. Itchy back. It's just Nightbot telling me stuff. Well, telling you guys stuff. There'll be a giveaway when I get to 50 followers. Woo! I'm either on 35, 36, or 37. I cannot remember. See, I want to know how I'm supposed to get there, because there's no paths, as far as I can tell, that lead there.
need to catch my breath.
Oh, that's how I'm supposed to get there. Well, something's up with the kingdom. And people are complaining about lack of sleep. Research into the nature of curses, Candlemere. And curses are a mystery to be sure, but there is no curse at play in Candlemere. Its reputation stems from a strange portal located in the island, the Will-O-Wisps, that once lived around it. This research has increased our understanding of arcane and divine magic. We have acquired a deeper understanding of the nature of curses. Nice. What is this? Regent demands your presence. Tragedy in the mine. The local stone miners had a rock site. The stone merchants have jacked up prices and construction materials are running short. How long until you're finished? 8 days. The art of making friends. Druids have noticed that one of the settlements is poorly located and creates an obstacle to the natural flow of energy through the regions. The Druids can fix this and lift the unpleasant atmosphere in the settlement. So basically the Druids are going in and doing some feng shui on the village. Right, so tragedy in mind, that'll have to be done by Valerie. Give her a crisis token. Disrupted harmony sounds like a good... Ooh, Jesus, that's not easy. Tempted to do that one before too long. Just to get that up and hopefully get arcane sooner rather than later. It'll also get me another BP. But for the moment, I think we need to do this. We're gonna give it a crisis point. Sorry about that, my phone's going off. I've had to take it off mute for a few days. As I'm expecting an important phone call, but it can go shush while I'm streaming. I still don't like those odds, but it'll have to do. And that means the art of making friends can be done by any of these three and nobody's available. What else is here? A divine protection from poison. Support the High Priest's endeavors. Should probably do that. Isn't that? Oh yeah, because I've gotten rank up economy. Curses. And other. I need so much and so many BPs, and I just don't have them. Weapons this also adds dex in something like the slashing grace feat or rogue class fitness training adds it to the damage. Check the details of your first level fitness training, where I think you picked up punching daggers. See, I've got weapon-focused punching daggers, which gives you a +1, and that's all it does. It doesn't give you anything unless it then goes into another. Finesse training. Whenever the rogue makes a successful melee attack with a punching dagger, she adds her dex instead of strength to the modifier of the damage roll. If there was any... the thing is, I'm not dismissing... Okay, I need to go back. I was going to go here. Let's see what's here. But I've had a punching daggers, and they've not done as much damage. Or they do equivalent damage when it's a dagger or whether it's a punching dagger, which is why I've moved away from the punching daggers, because I've not found any decent punching daggers in the game. I used to carry one around with me, but I don't have it at the moment. Does anybody... Your intellect. Your charisma. A little headband of the law and charisma. But yeah, back in my capital, I've got at least one punching dagger, and I don't think the difference in damage was that much. Plus, as well, most of my damage actually comes from the fact that I'm a... Hello. I'm a knife master, so my sneak attacks actually get a bonus, or are slightly better than your normal sneak attacks.
Well,
Alright, let's have a quick save, because I don't like the idea of running up against something that's called a greater nightmare. It shouldn't be too bad. Can you run up? No, you can't.
onwards!
This is for you.
This should do it.
I mean, the other thing that really offsets these Kariki
Any
is
last
the
wishes?
crit range.
You forced my
Critting
hand.
on something like a 15 to a 20.
Ah! Bring it!
A calculated risk.
Yeah, 15 to 20 on both of them. Oh, God. Give us a... I shouldn't have blessed there. I should have moved forward and then blessed.
I'll try
Oh, well.
to make this swift.
I'm continually making mistakes like that.
Ah!
You are very difficult to hit. Come on. There we go. Still not great on the hits. Sing us the song, Lindsay. I'm pretty sure I've got a thing somewhere. Actually, that's an idea. If I do the lesser restoration on me, that'll get rid of the dex poison. Have to do it for training.
Stay behind me!
God, that's awful, AC.
Tear them apart! Look at me, Gorum! This will hurt.
There we go.
Don't you think?
Share your troubles.
Magritium Turinos.
That is not far. As it should be.
So many places on the map where it's like, this little area doesn't seem to make too much sense. The nightmare just stood out in the middle of nowhere. That was a bit more of a tougher fight than I was expecting after the mine. Because the mine really
In due
was a very easy fight. So I wasn't expecting a very difficult fight in this area. That could have killed somebody, potentially, if I wasn't paying attention. I'm currently playing with a mercenary arcane trickster sword saint to Magnus, with a level in vivisectionist and knife master, combining the role of evil Regnagara and Knock Knock. That's a lot of different classes. See, this is one of the things that I tend not to worry so much. I appreciate that I possibly should worry because it. Let me actually finish a sentence because otherwise I should be worried. What about? I didn't say.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
So if we go to class, sneak stab, weapon finesse. Yeah, with light weapons, Elven Curve Blade, S-Stock, and Rapier made with creatures of your size character, you use your Dex modifier instead of your Strength rolls. The weapon focus is just on the +1 to attack rolls. It doesn't affect... Oh yeah, it's that. The weapon proficiency training. Adds her Dex modifier instead of her strength rolls to the damage. But that also does it if it's considered a light weapon. So that begs the question. So they're not light weapons, but it's still adding, according to that, a +6, or for that a +7. Maybe. Let me get back to my capital and my punch dagger. I'm pretty sure I still have hold of it.
I tire.
Yeah, rest up. We're a bit far from the capital.
I'd give anything for a mug of hot grog. And for 2 mugs? No. After 2 mugs, they'd kick me out of the tavern. How come I never learned how to drink at the academy?
You are a gnome. You're not expected to have much in the way of drinking fortitude. But the bold stones are reasonably difficult for my level. I can't move from that. The Ironstone Gully, much further away. I mean, not much further away. Same region, I think. No, it's in the next region over, I think. That doesn't give me the regions. Oh well, we'll find out in a moment. The throne room. No separating attack and damage rolls between the skills. Not sure quite what you mean though. You're talking about your build or my build? Because one of the things is I tend not to think too deeply into all of this. It's like, yeah, I want to be a knife master. I'm just going to level it all up in knife master and hope for the best. But at the same token, when I was doing Season of the Bloom, it really did get difficult there. And I suppose I could try to increase the difficulty if I was to do another playthrough. And by doing that, I would really have to pay a lot more attention to the... That was a weird noise. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Let's close that application before it makes any more noise. So yeah, if I was to try and increase the difficulty, I would really need to pay more attention on how to min-max and optimize, that's the word, optimize character builds in order to really strengthen up my people, whereas at the moment I'm just like, I get by being a knife master just by sheer amount of damage. Valerie rubs her temples thoughtfully. Your barony requires a diplomat, Karen. Relationships with our neighbours require special attention. Appoint a new to manage this aspect of your barony. But before you transfer the responsibilities to somebody else, I would like to make one suggestion. No country can ignore the interests of its citizens who travel beyond its borders. Our most active trade relations and cultural exchanges are with Brevity. I suggest we arrange for them to build a consulate in their capital. Then all your subjects who visit there can enjoy our support and protection. As I see it, it's a worthy investment. I like this idea. Let us build a consulate in Brevity. Then I shall make the necessary arrangements. Nope. Who's this? Badok? Yeah, unfazed by the awkward silence, Borkin searches his bags for quite a while. Finally, he pulls out a sizable brown paper package. There you go. A little something from old Borkin. If you ever need anything in particular, just let me know. If you're not sure, I'll go home and think of something myself. My bones ache. Thank you. This will prove useful. You may go now. My pleasure. I only hope that no one throws it away or leaves it to rot in some old chests. Oh well.
Follow my lead.
So, where's my punch dagger? I thought I caught hold of my punch dagger. Oh, there it is. So yeah, my punch dagger is a... Okay, that's... Okay. That's adding a lot more onto it. Yeah. With that, my punch dagger is actually just about as dangerous. Main problem is it doesn't have any of the funky stuff on it, like the fire, which has been a bit of a blessing. The cold, the enhancement bonus is only a +1. So yeah, I'll make sure to put that on Kiriki next level. For the moment, I'm just going to be sticking with these because that crit range really does kick it into a class. Did you find an agile Kiriki? No. Found keen Kirikis. What else do I have? The Gift of Deft and the Keen. That's just a plain Keen +1. That's a Unholy Sacrificial. Kukri. I keep saying Kiriki, but it's Kukri. So I will become even more dangerous. I really do have a lot of junk in there. Never know if to get... I should probably just get rid of this stuff. It's not really doing... Why is that ring unidentified? Grants a +2 deflection bonus to AC, +2 resistances on saving throws, and spell resistance of 14. Why have I not been using that? Why was that not previously identified? Only adds a +1 to you because of +1. What is this? Deflection bonus. That's natural armor. Where's your deflection bonus coming from? Anyway, not you. You. Right, that's a +1 ring of protection. If I take that off, it goes down to 35. I'll put that one on, it goes up to a 37. And that is luck on all saving throws. Does that go... No, it doesn't take you up to a... I think that bonus is wrong. Because that's saying deflection bonus. And that's an armor bonus. Oh no, okay, it's a deflection bonus. And that's a deflection bonus. So that's why. Hey, got a 37 AC. And spell resistance. And +2 resistance bonus on all saving throws. Does anybody else need that ring? I don't think anybody else does. But the only thing is, I think... Oh no, ring of protection is only good for... Ring of protection +2, ring of protection, and a ring of protection. Okay, nobody else needs it. I'll just sell it, I've got plenty of rings of protection. Alrighty then. I have a terrible feeling that there's an emerald out there that I've already bought and sold to a merchant, and I can't remember. Well, if I have bought and sold it, it'd be one of the 3-4 merchants here in town. But if I've sold it to a random merchant, God knows where in the game it'd be. I should not be picking at crud of my keyboard. Because it's now crud under my fingers now. Bum ba bum.
In due time.
Show me your wares. Do you have an emerald? You do have an emerald. I will take one of your finest emeralds. So much junk. Deal. Hard by type. Right. Shambling Mound drops an emerald, I think. I think I've had a fight against the Shambling Mound. I cannot for the life of me think where it was. So. And again, it's likely to be one of them things where it's like, if I had the fight, picked up the emerald and thought I might as well just sell it. Alright. What am I doing? There's an exclamation mark, which is just telling me that that's dealt with. Advisors. Ooh. Friend diplomat. I have one of two choices. And neither of them are great. Rank up. Support the regent's endeavors. See, why can't I assign this guy? I can't hover this guy, but he's apparently only good for that one slot. Probably move Lindsay to the relations. And then this guy into the curator. But I need people to be finished in a week with all that stuff. There's nothing else that I can do at the moment. Sycamore was quite a while ago in my mind. Don't recall it whatsoever. You can't tell from watching my streams, I have a lousy memory. I can barely remember from one session to the next, and that's either like 2 days or 5 days. Asking me to remember something from the old Sycamore, wow, that was a while ago. Sometime last year, in fact. But I want to go here. Yeah, it's Lake Silverstep. I'm guessing it's like Silverstep Village. So a gnomish jeweler wants a... I think it's a gnomish. Might be a half. You've spotted peaceful travellers. Approach, and if it's that skeleton again. Oh look, it's that skeleton again. Do you have anything good for me? Gonna go with no. See, the punch dagger's right at the start of the game. It's one of them where it's all like, if I knew that Kukri were going to be very much featured, I might have made that my choice. As I didn't know that they were going to be featured, I went with whatever weapon sounded cool, which was the punch dagger. And so far in the game I've found... I think I had to purchase my basic bland punch dagger. And I'm not even sure about the plus one, whether I actually managed to find that somewhere or buy it. I should actually just look at it. The kind of useful thing about this game is it tells you everywhere that you actually picked up a thing from. Have I been here before? I have been here before. Oh, it's this town. Oh yeah, now I remember. Why she'd want to be in this town, I don't know. Villager. This you? No.
As it should be.
You're staying in a village by Lake Silverstep. Unless she means my village. Which I don't know why you just can't say, oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I suppose I should check whether I've got any BP. It's raining, it's pouring, and so many people are going slow. That was bloody close. It's not mine, leave it alone. I'm a rogue, not a thief.
I tire.
Yep, I'm in the negative. 74. Shazam! 0. There we go. Sorted. See, it doesn't make sense to me that they couldn't have made the quest journal a little bit dynamic. I'm guessing this region is Silver Lake. Trader, guard, priest. Citizen. Guard, citizens. Mim! Here's your emerald. Aha! So what about my request? A Mim Wobbleganger, flashing a look at that colour and the size, an excellent item. Finally I'll be able to bring my idea to life. Wonderful. I am ready to remain here and work for your grace. I only need a place to live and work. I've brought all the necessary tools. All I need is 4 walls and a roof, and a salary, of course. I don't need to eat. Of course, I do need to eat, but I'll make it up to you. Okay, so that's another thing that I need to build. What's that? Into the house. Just our house. It's not, you know, my house. It's not somebody's house. It's just the house. So, wait, no, that's the capital. This is Lake Silver Lake. Tavern, shop, enter, and build. Mim's jewelry shop. It doesn't grant me any bonuses. Oh, economy when adjacent to a tavern or a longhouse. So if I put it there, it'll be next to the tavern, and then maybe at some point I'll put a longhouse there. So it wants to be 30 BP. It's expensive. I'm about allowed to my economy. Barracks. And +1 stability when adjacent to longhouse. So if I was to put longhouse there, then the barracks there, that would get a benefit from the barracks, and the barracks would get a benefit from the longhouse, and that would get. I mean, it might not get a +2 bonus. Who knows? I should really build that school. I mean, it is free after all. Build school. Free. When adjacent to a shrine, +1 military when adjacent to a barracks. I've got a barracks or a shrine. I'd prefer to go down the divine route. And it's going to get me culture. Ta-da. At some point, I'm actually going to have BPs to play with. Maybe I'll actually be able to get some of these other things built. But alas. Right. Event. Testimony of loyalty. Citizens wish to express their appreciation for their ruler and protector. Somebody must organize a presentation of gifts. Hoy vey. I think it's just a case of burning 6 days now. Hey, I have 41 BP. Oh. Well, I failed at the art of making friends. The council managed to locate the place where the raging animals swarm and cleanse it. Significant losses have been avoided. The treasurer not only found a manufacturing process that would make its production slightly faster and easier, he also managed to persuade local merchants to invest in the project. The crafters ended their strike and returned to work. Several wild giants have wandered into a settlement. They wish to be hired hands. They are powerful and might be useful, but they're frightened people. They are wild and not very intelligent, but their great strength makes them dangerous neighbours. For generous promise of food and good pay couldn't lure the giants into the army. They might be strong, but they are not so brave. Rest in peace. A memorial in the deceased was opened in the city. This symbol means a lot to people. It also means a lot that the authorities respect and celebrate their loyal servants. How nice. The cost of building with static stability bonus is reduced by 10%. Right. Now that you're freed up, you are going to go and... You are no longer the curator. You are the curator. And you are now the Grand Diplomat. To a certain degree, I kind of wished I'd be able to put Valerie in that position, but she's not very good at it. What is she good at? Right, testimony of loyalty. That's a thing. That requires that. That requires Tristan, but that'll take it up to 4, which the economy won't support. The High Priest is busy doing something. So we'll rank stability up. Is there anything else? Border training camps. Trade agreement with Patax. How many BP can I afford? Nowhere near enough to do any of these projects. I mean, I could do that project. But I don't feel that it's an immediate problem because Valerie also gets a plus. Amory already gets a plus 12 to it. Love the way that it says here, but it's all like military 12, leader bonus plus 5, kingdom stats -1, plus 8, stat rank. What's that supposed? Is that this? Why is it a -1? Anyway. Yeah, that's training curses. I'm guessing that these require arcane. Because it's not so rank up. Really do need to do that, but let us start this one. I forgot to do the other thing with Tristan. All of the events happening. Disrupt harmony. The druids guided the high priest, altered the landscape surrounding the settlement and its architecture. They have already promised a better harvest. Inhabitants of a nearby village were sent to a Claver Collapse mine. Craftsmen have left their workshops, farms, their fields, causing commercial life in the region to stagnate. Whoops. Visitor at the capital, the Grand Diplomat wants to discuss something. Troubled minds. Some troublemaking bars have found an easy winter way in framing. They've started to taken to it, singing insulting songs about the Baron, painting things over his portraits and vandalising his statues. The rabble love it and the foreigners snort at the sight. But it's more than just a joke. The one who gets laughed at doesn't get any respect. We're one step away from a riot. There's nothing wrong with a good riot. Illicit hunters. And the artisan's loss. So many things going on. Right, so, testimony of loyal. Tristan, go deal with that. Artisan's loss. Julius, deal with it. Hunters, whoever you are, Crescent, deal with that. Storyteller, deal with that. Grand Diplomat is in the throne room, and a visitor wants it. It's a visitor at my castle. How's what doing? I'm stable. There you go. You got a peek behind it. I appreciate you. Oh no, you can just see all the numbers there. The only thing that you can't see on screen is the word stable, a bunch of things, states that are going on. But most of them are favourable. There was one negative one that I dealt with. And yeah, it's a barony stats. Done one a barony, lawful good, name, value, and rank. That's the only bits missing off the screen. Right, now I want to go to here. Quick question. How long until this thing blows up? 57 days. Okay. Continue. Loachingdale. And the throne room. Idris Vaki, a young man wearing fancy clothes and with delicate features and perfect posture, gives you a precisely measured light bow. Your Grace, allow me to introduce myself. I am Idris Hangvaki, and I beg you to give me a moment of your precious time. I thank you for honouring me with your visit. And to what do I owe the pleasure? A surprised expression appears on the young man's face, but he conceals it behind a polite smile. Such flawless courtesy. I can see you are a true noble, unlike some of the impostors of the River Kingdoms. Let me get straight to the point of my visit, for it is a matter of utmost importance. A tragedy has brought me here. One that has been looming over my family for a while, or perhaps one that has already come to pass. You see, Your Grace, 2 months ago, my elder brother, Tomin Vaki, went missing. After leaving Gralton, where our family resides, he headed northwest. His destination, as we found out later, was a village called Varnhold, but he never arrived there. Your capital was the last place he was seen alive. We don't know where he is, or whether he's still alive. Our poor father is losing his head in grief. Please, help us learn something about the fate of my brother, and you'll gain an eternally loyal ally. Tell me about your brother. Our family, no matter how venerable, has always carried a spirit of adventurousness, if you will, in our blood. A thirst for risk and exploit. Each generation has had its own daredevil who left all he owned and went chasing after some ghostly treasures, ignoring completely the tears of his loved ones. I'm afraid that his family curse has now befallen my brother. If I only knew exactly what he was looking for, or where exactly he was going. Sadly, all I've managed to learn was the name of some village out in the middle of nowhere, Varnhold, along with the fact that my brother never arrived there. Tell me about your family. The Hanvankins are an ancient family with a long history, hailing back to the days before Galton's founding. Unfortunately, our wealth has been depleted by a series of reckless ventures, like the one my brother is partaking in right now. Family archives, some heirlooms, and our honor. These are all the treasures our once influential house has come to possess. It seems to me you're not a noble, but rather a spy. Gods, come here and execute him! No, I'll see what I can do for you. Farewell. I look forward to any news you may find. I mean, okay. This will only take a moment of your time. Really, it's nothing. But I do need your advice. Some hunters from Patax are wandering on the outskirts of your barony. If you ask me, I don't care. There's enough game for everyone, but the locals are outraged. What kind of barony is it if anyone can just cross our borders? We are not going to introduce border patrols because of a couple of does get shot, right? Right? We'll immediately increase border control. We must end such a... No. Let's just look the other way. They're only hunters. And that's what I thought so too. So let's discuss something more important. The next chapter. Searching for his brother was heading for Varnhold, but never made it there. Lovely amount of hints that I gave. I'm guessing it's going to show me something on the map as to where I need to be. Right. Support the Grand Diplomat. Rank that up. I have so much to do. What is this? This is community, which can go up one. Right. First of all, check the events because they're time sensitive. Right, that's done. We need 2 BP for that. I can probably afford that now. Ta-da. That's 100 BP. Don't have that anymore. If I get my divine up, I might begin to unlock Arcane, which is something that I really want to do. Espionage requires relations, which is only a rank 1. But also that's what that will cover. But let us get the High Priest up first. Always worries me when I have to fast forward and be busy for 14 days. It's all like, can I, I can be out adventuring. I can be, at death's door. I leave wherever it is. If it's in my territory, I click the button and I can deal with all manner of emergencies across my realm. I support this guy ranking up to rank 3 for 2 bleeding weeks, and I cannot do anything about the problems that occur. The council has promised to hold a feast. Loyalty and relations is up. The treasurer failed to allocate funds to search for the thieves, and the artisan left the barony in anger. Stability is up, and culture is up. Training camps is complete. Training Jod's skills as a high priest. I love the way that it's all like strengthen Jod's skills as a high priest. Assign Jubilios to do it. What? Oh. Maybe, I don't know. It's a bit weird, but somebody else can do that. Events. The curator needs your help. To the throne room. Luckily, I'm already there. Fair enough. The storyteller raises his hand to get your attention. Your Grace, please spare me a few moments. As your curator, I request you listen to this kind lady. She wishes to discuss something of great importance. The Azamar bows. The young woman is wearing simple clothes, but carries herself with dignity. Your greatest respect, Baron. I am Rikri Shavan, and I am leader of a small group of enthusiasts who wish to enrich the life in the city. I have come to you for two reasons. To tell you about our cause, and to ask for your support. A while ago, an idea emerged in our ranks. Even though there are many ways to entertain oneself in the capital, there is still not enough cultural events taking place, even as artisans are starved for money and audience. Thus, we have decided to form a society for the appreciation of the fine arts. Each member pays a modest monthly fee, and in return gets to vote in which event the society should fund each month. And just imagine, a community will finally be able to organize exhibitions, performances, philosophical debates, and concerts, and do it all on its own. We will inspire our friends and neighbours, but in order to provide an adequate reward for our most distinguished artists, we will need to attract more members and increase our funds. All we ask is of you is a little support. Any funds you can spare will be most welcome, of course, but we especially need your help in founding and promoting the society and organising the events. It will require a great effort to make this dream come true. Thank you for your time. Please, if you decide to support us, send us a message through your curator. And whatever your decisions, I hope your esteemed advisor will honor us in taking part in the opening ceremony. The storyteller cocks his head. So, what shall I tell Lady Shavan? To my mind, these people need our guidance and attention more than they need our money. And we could inform all the city of this newly founded society and assist in the collection of membership fees. I know that I'm low on BP, but I could probably afford 75. I wish to support this art society financially. A most reasonable proposal, Your Grace. Culture +3, lost 75 BP, and I'm pretty sure I'm out of BP at the moment. So let's go take care of that. Oh no, I have the BP. Oh, I was going to spend it on doing something? I have no idea what I was going to spend it on. Alright, so that's that. Can't afford that. Can't afford that. No advisor for that. No advisor for that. That requires my attention. Divine protection. Can't afford it. Defenders of the land. Can't afford it. That requires my attention. That requires my attention. Improve Jod skills. Can't afford it. I'm broke. How many BP can I afford? I might sell off just all the junk in that box. I don't think I'm ever really realistically going to get around to using it. I just kind of kept hold of it just in case I needed it for anybody, but I got a notification a while ago that, you know, I've got everybody. So junk. Order by that. Junk. chunk, 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 chunk. I'm overburdened. But luckily can still run around because I'm in town. The thing is, I've never really found the timing of the quests to be all that problematic. But I appreciate that they're timed, but at the same token, it's all like, if I support them now, you know, I just did the support of one of them. If I supported somebody else, that would be, you know, I'd just be getting so many more BP in per week, which then might actually mean that I'd get to afford some of the stuff that's going on. That's just a little bit of gold. I mean, I can afford a fair amount of BP with it. Hope none of that was important. So that's the thing with this game. I found little to buy in quite a while. And more often than not, if there hasn't been anything to buy, it's been like, you know,
In due time.
8,000, 16,000, something like that. I've got nearly 140,000 there. I'm pretty sure, going back to this list of projects, I need 1, 2, 300. And I can afford over 1,000. Watch out. Buy that. Buy that. And buy that. Might even be worth actually buying that. Although it'd take a hell of a long time to get a refund back on that. But money's there to be spent. Okie dokie. Turn me on. It's usually found it's more if you get started. You start getting hit by problems and don't deal with the underlying cause, that will get progressively worse. Yeah. The thing is, to a certain degree, this is my first playthrough. I'm not expecting sort of like an outstanding result from it all. I just hope that the game doesn't do something daft like a game over screen. See, this is the thing, it's like Lost Brother. Somewhere between here and there, and there's not a single exclamation mark on the map. And I didn't see Lost Brother listed there. So, off to Varnhold we go. That's 22 hours, that's... Right, go... there. Possibly should have rested before I left. Oh.
May we have a moment of respite?
Nope. Tristan, we will march through the night, or until I get tired anyway. Who are you? You go bother Val with all this. I have better things to do than entertain gawkers and layabouts. Okay. I'll go find Vaughn then, and tell him you've been rude. Where did I leave Vaughn? There you are. So, I'm guessing it's not here. I'm supposed to just run up and down the roads between here and Varnhold and hope that I stumble across a random encounter. Don't answer that, chat. I'm thinking. Usually gives you some degree of hint somewhere along the line. He did say that he was last seen in my town. So maybe I'm supposed to ask questions around there.
We should gather our strength.
Me. Why ditch me out there? Yeah. Dropped it. Alright. Rest. Manage user rations up. Because I don't really want to be carrying them around. And rest.
Who is this storyteller, I wonder? He's weird. An elf, but looks old. And he's blind. And he doesn't like to share stories. What a miser. So, who is he? The oldest elf on whole Galarian? Or an enchanted prince of Kyonin? Oh, maybe he's a god suffering a memory loss. I'm so excited. I won't be able to sleep tonight. Damn it.
Well, as long as he's let our imagination run away with her. That's bards for you. Definitely nowhere on the map that I can see an exclamation point. No. Silver Step, yeah. That's the region of Silver Step there. Alright, let's go ask around town. Let's see what happens there.
I need to catch my breath.
Start at the tavern. Whoa. Sadly, all I've managed to learn was the name of some village out in the middle of nowhere, Varnhold. I mean, I suppose I could go look around Varnhold. I thought I did. I could just be going around in circles. Nope. Back through here. Looking for anybody who's not named Citizen. Where's Ekundeo? I have not spoke to you yet. I have to go. Nope, go. Talking, talking. When will we do some monster killing instead? As soon as we find a monster to kill. Retraining and hiring of mercenaries. It's just you can also get a fair amount of lore about the setting from them as well, or mainly the Pathfinder Society. You only called it the Your Grace. Oh, what? There's an odd icon on the map, and it was like, oh, I'll click on that, and it's like, oh, it takes me back to the tavern. Pretty sure my tavern is at the other side of town and is actually a building. Main square. Oh, the seat is suddenly not comfortable. Let's look around for anybody who's not named a name that I know. Excuse me. Kind of curious about that stick just lying there, but it's not mine, so I won't take it. I'm still looking over the edge of the cliff. He's not jumped yet.
That is not far.
Dog, horse, priestess, citizen, guard, knock knock. Citizen, guard, horse, citizen, Acundio, merchants, Edril, citizens, guard, citizens. Is that my tavern? No, that's a house. How come everybody in this town has a house that looks rather big for them? Oh. Right, so let's try back at Varnold. Because that's where they were trying to go. Leave. Every now and again I look up and realize my hair is a mess. Kingdom needs management. If you tell me I need to go to the throne room, I'm going to. I don't know, refugees. Some of the dissatisfied subjects are packing their belongings and leaving for more peaceful lands, but the young barony needs these people. They will have to be stopped. Send the storage. What do you get for me? You get stability. Stability is at 30. And what was the other one? Culture. Culture is at a 40. So let's go for the stability with an 85% chance. I mean, you'll be fine. You can do it. I believe in you. Although it's still shifty as hell. Right, if this doesn't work, I will have to try other things. Like going to each and every one of these bleeding dots on the map.
I tire.
Until I find some kind of hint. Fate.
What for Gorum?
Hello, goblins. Just what Amory ordered. Would appear to be an ambush. At least we're not all clumped up this time.
So it's come to this.
Just checking how much experience I needed to level up. It's still something like 30,000. I should have
I'll
gone the other
fight if I have to.
How did I roll for initiative? An 8. 200 die plus 6. Oof. Alright, now that I have everybody's attention,
Let's try this
die! 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 Why go for the one which you don't get sneak attack on?
They go down!
See? Nobody knows what she's doing. Well, only because I told her. But Valerie, I would love for you to get up there. It doesn't matter that you missed, they'll just fire a bow and you'll get an attack opportunity.
This is where I step in.
Bum 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 bum.
Repent!
You can't stop me.
Oh. This should do it.
And then he exploded.
Let us strike as one!
You missed.
You forced my hand.
That's a bad idea. Alright, make that one explode.
Expected outcome.
And start moving over that way. And we could kill that one. Probably.
Serves you right.
I'll try to make this swift.
Vicious.
Consider me provoked.
Why do they do this stupid?
A calculated risk.
And finish. Voila. It's one of them games where it's like, I'm always curious if I actually went through and picked up all of these. So it's 10 per goblin. Oh, that's a 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, there's probably about 100 BP lying around there. Or 100 gold, which works out to be 1 BP. Yeah, and I've had so many of them encounters now. And there's been so much equipment that I've just left lying around.
I tire.
I am curious. At some stage.
I need to catch my breath.
We agreed, and we go to here. Say the great power helped him rise to power and hides any traces of villainy and trickery.
May we have a moment of respite?
Right, so let's talk to everybody here that isn't nailed down. Peasant, what do you know? See the clouds, rain's coming out there. Okay, there's rain on the way.
In due time.
Really don't like me. Go above and on with all of this. I got better things to do. Traveler, can I be of assistance? Good day. What's that? Yeah. The entrance above the tavern is depicting a horse with fishtail for hind legs. Okay. Peasant woman. Oh, it's you. Yes, it's me. Peasants. Welcome to Varnhold. Priest of Estria. Glad to see you. Only he killed villains. Killed by a tree, one less fledgling woodcutter. Never fished and finished that bridge. Our walls of granary have been fully cocked, and it's a massive door.
Something bothering you?
Welcome to Varnhold. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you.
All according to plan.
Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Rest off 40 miles across the river, Varnhold Fort. Oh yeah, I can get up to this fort, can't I? By fjording the river. Aiming with fish darting. Guard. Nice to meet you, Your Grace. Welcome to Varnhold. Not very welcome. Yeah, which is fair enough. It's just one of them where it's all like, you know, one of my main things is I like to travel light. I could carry a lot more, but in the early days of my adventure, I was overburdened and slowed a little bit. And it's just one of them where it's kind of felt to me, it feels to me like you shouldn't be trying to carry everything. And I've played, you know, Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. It's one of them where if you try to carry everything, you spend so much time and energy just running back and forth between shops that you kind of struggle to really get the adventure moving. And you know, there's other games, the Elder Scrolls series, for example. Show me what you have. Do you have anything of interest? No, you don't. Okay. I think I've been all over this town. I can't think of anybody else that I might need to speak to. I definitely came up this way. Right, the guy isn't here. So now the fun task of trying to find him. I shall search every nook and cranny. The Varnhold vanishings. There are two types of people in this world. There's a type of person who, upon hearing of a hungry monster roaming through the ruins of a lost civilization, will immediately pick up their backpack and make their way there. The other type, people who hear the same thing and get a chill down their spine, pour themselves a cup of hot cocoa and snuggle down by the fireplace. The noble house of Hanvanki mainly consists of the type 2, but there is occasional daredevils amongst them, eager to leave the mundane life behind and go out in search of adventure. We're seen in our capital where I didn't see him. He'd meant to head for Varnhold, but never made it there. So I'm guessing it's going to be along one of the roads between where I am and Varnhold. I mean, Amory sent me up that way, but again, I'd like there to be an exclamation mark to give me some kind of indication of where I'm supposed to be going. Because my only assumption is it's got to be more kingdom stuff. And why does it dump me out this side of the river? Right, well, let's try that ancient mine. Oh, I'm in my kingdom. So I can click this button and find out what that is about. Omen. A white deer with bloody antlers has been seen through the forest. Could it be a sign of Estral himself? Whatever lies beyond these stories must be uncovered. 14 days for that. 8 days, 14 days. That's something that I needed for. And yeah, to a certain degree, if you go through and you pick up everything, sell off everything, and make sure that, you know, you do a lot of the back and forth. It's like, go, grab everything, wait until you're medium overburdened, or maybe, you know, just on the cusp of being heavy party encumbrance, wander back to town, sell off all the stuff. Yes, I probably end up with a lot more gold, which to a certain degree allows me to convert it into build points, which to a certain degree allows me, you know, these purchase things. I can currently buy 1,443. I need 1,500 for this project, which it's not going to increase my build points that bigly. That big a difference to my build point total at the moment, but it's only going to rise over time, along with the fact that it's still actually going to be, what, 5, 6 build points? Straight up. which would take me up to 48, which is a pretty big difference in as though I'm not actually having to spend time on this, other than tying up one of my advisors. But for me, I feel that it ruins the flow of the game a lot, and you know, in this it's easy to say, oh yeah, you just need to throw money at the build points, and you need every penny counts. And it might be the difference when it comes to the end of the game, between sort of like a minor success and a great success, but at the same token, I don't know exactly at the moment. And for me, if the game was sort of like you have to pick up every last little bit of loot that you find along the way, sell everything that you're not currently using, to try to get as many build points as possible to invest in your barony as quickly as possible, you know, because I think this is available pretty much from day one. You just can't afford that kind of build point total. But if you did this early on, then you'd be getting an extra build point per week. And, you know, to a certain extent, I could actually spend a lot more on building up this, the towns and the villages with those build points, which would increase my values across the board if I worked it out correctly. There's a lot of theory crafting that you could put into this to really try to maximize the kingdom side of things. But I feel to a certain extent going down that route is just going to take a lot of time and theory crafting that, yeah, I don't mind doing, but at the same token, it's not something that I want to be doing a lot of the time.
I tire.
Well, that's not pleasant. What have we got? A bandit bard, a bandit illusionist, and everyone's tired.
Ready and willing.
Where's haste?
This is for you!
Enemy approaching.
If we're tired, we're just going to have to run around like maniacs with spells
You
going.
deserved it.
Where'd them arrows come from? Oh, over there. You missed.
So it's come to this. Orama.
Fowler, go deal with that guy. We're surrounded by bandits.
This will hurt.
Kill that one.
Left yourself open.
Hammery that guy.
I'll fight if I have to.
Strike worth a legend.
That was a pitiful amount of damage to say that was 3 crits in a row. Yeah, I'm not excessively worried. It's one of them where it's like, I feel that the game...
Do not.
Yeah, I'm not playing this for the, the optimal outcome. I'm just like playing it to see how it goes with very little knowledge of what's going on. Ultimately, you know, I think the only thing that would really cheese me off is if it got to the point where it was a it got to a point in the game where it's like, yep, you've reached this stage, and
Repent!
because you haven't done some obscure thing, it's game over. And at the end of the day, it's like, I feel that would be a very bad way for them to have done this game. It's like, oh yeah, congratulations, you've invested, you know, literally you've seen, I'm on hundreds of hours. You've invested 100 hours into the game, and we're just going to throw a game over screen here because you didn't do this thing quite quick enough, and you weren't even aware that it was going to be a problem. That's the only time that I really get cheesed off at this game, and there's a pretty good chance that if it did something like that, then I would get cheesed off enough to be so like, I don't want to go away and study everything to figure out how to beat this game. I'd be annoyed and just be like, nope, that's it, I'm just not gonna play this game any longer.
We should gather our strength.
We should. Let's go there and then rest.
Oh, another ink blot. And at the very bottom of the page. Now I need to write the whole thing over again.
Wait, don't tear it out yet. Let me see. You know, we could make a picture from this ink blot. There, a line here and there, and now it's a...
Now it's a what? You can't leave a sentence halfway through like that. Bum bum bum. An amazing discovery. Some foreign treasure hunters have found an amazing gift. Amazing artifact at a dig site. I am tired, apparently. It would be nice to obtain it, but how? By sending the community manager with a crisis point. Because I want it. I don't know what it is, but I want it. I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, I got 51 BP. Right. So check every major point between here and my city and their city. That's my current plan. If your kingdom is destroyed, it's game over. Well, what could be destroying my kingdom? That is the question. That's a little bit ominous.
We will be victorious.
Maybe I shouldn't run so quick. Oh, it's only a little baby dragon. Mother!
Let's try this way.
You forced my hand.
Onwards!
damn, the game's ratting me out. What's ratting you out? It's almost impossible on the Insane unless you know just how to build, and some classes are basically useless. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things,
You
know,
can't stop
I
me.
very rarely go up to the highest level of difficulty in a lot of games. Simply because I find that when you're getting to that level of difficulties, it tends to
This
be,
should do it.
you know, you need to have in-depth knowledge of literally everything that's going on. With every last little... the words of an ancient stone are barely visible. Property of House of Trestran. No, they're the Han Vanki. You know, like you say, there's some classes that are basically useless because they're less than optimal for, you know, the end game stuff. I suppose I should also go here just in case it's popped up. I don't think it will have done. You know, and yes, I appreciate that some people enjoy that aspect of gaming, getting in so deep, knowing every last little quirk of the game. But that's just not for me. There's plenty of other video games out there that I enjoy playing. And spending too much time researching a game, male characters without good bad growth, melee characters without good bad growth just can't hit to save their lives. Yeah. Well, that's to a certain degree, which is what's happened with Valerie, Amory, and myself. It's all like we've all got where is it? 10, 10, and 7. We got a 5, a 7, and a 7. Okay, so I'm not as great as I'm on par with Lindsay and Tristan. Their main problem is I've not really optimized them for being ranged attackers shooting into melee, and I've not given them weapon focuses and the rest. Might be able to bring them up, but at the same token, their stats also don't benefit it much. I mean, that attack bonus is +1 for dex, +1 for light shot crossbow, whereas my attack bonuses are 12. I could take off Piranha Strike, I just don't want to. I don't know where that other... I think that other is because I'm dual wielding. Yeah, the other is because I'm dual wielding. So I could get that up to a 16 if I dropped... And that's comparable to Amory's, and Amory has a full attack bonus. Her strength just isn't as high. So, no, I'm not that bad, but that's mainly because I've got a reasonable BAB. Okay, so if we were coming along this path, this will be the next point in the road. Yeah, I think to a certain degree the other factors that you want to include is making sure that you get the most out of the specializations. You know, for example, with this whole knife mastery. Hello, this is creepy. With the knife master, I'm getting larger sneak attack die than a normal rogue would. The only thing that I've got to offset against it is the fact that I don't have as big a weapons as rogues can go for, which in early levels doesn't help you, but at late levels kinda does.
That is not far.
In the dim light, you come across a group of armed men with swords and bows. Two of them are squatting over a body of a halfling. Spotting you, one of the men stands up and regards you with a cold, crooked sneer. Well now, men, look. A corpse that doesn't know it's dead yet. What, you've come to loot the place? You're too late. We're here first and we keep what we found. We're scholars. See, this is our find. Valerie looks at the bandit and then at the corpse at his feet, reaches for her weapon. Dirty marauders, we cannot let them go. You've picked the wrong tone to speak with the Baron. Deaf to the grave robbers. Let us cleanse your lands of this filth. We'll see who dies today. I mean, you really think I'm supposed to be scared of you guys?
Any last wishes?
I didn't even get a swing at him. Supplies. God dang it. I gotta stop yelling supplies. Sneak attacking, denying the dex bonus to AC to help helps to hit. Yes. There's lots of little tactics in this that I possibly could pick up and try to do. I just don't. You know, one of the things is I'm a rogue with fairly good stealth, but I very rarely sneak around. Yeah, how is everybody? Okay, move Tristan up to about there. And does that cover? There we go. Let's have a blast going on. Yeah, flat-footed and flanked, but also if they can't detect you, then they're flat-footed to you. So you can sneak. If you sneak up to behind somebody and attack them, then they're and they don't know that you're there, they're flat-footed. It's just one of them tactics that I know where it's like, yes, you could try to sneak up behind somebody in after some fashion.
I'll try to make this.
And that will grant you your flat-footed and sneak attack bonus. That I just don't do. Alright, so that's junk, that's junk, that's interesting. Heavy crossbow +2. That's that little lot over there. What did the guy over here have? He charged him. Scroll of haste, half plate, far too heavy. Composite bow, composite bow. The book is torn and covered in mud, and very little of the text survived, just a small fragment on a page spread. And this phenomenon is quite similar to what transpires in the Stolen Lands. At a place the local populace refer to as the Ghost Stone. It's a hill surrounded by forest and crowned by a gigantic stone. The people say that at night the hilltop emanates bright light, while the hill itself is surrounded by a thick fog swarming with eerie, sinister shadows. The stone has resided at the hilltop since time immemorial, and those who could have recounted its tale or read the dead language on its inscriptions have long passed away. However, possessing the most intimate knowledge of the history of Astavan, I can claim with full certainty that it is one of those places where the veil separating the planes of existence grows especially thin. It is for this reason that portals to other worlds open in such places, through which all manner of mysterious creatures can travel. The folktales show overwhelming evidence of this: the fog, the strange shadows, the noises. The Stolen Lands abound with such legends like no other parts of this world, but for the dangers that await the would-be explorers of this wilderness, it is exceedingly difficult to investigate such accounts due to rigor. No idea what that's about. Oh. There's a little hand thing there that opened up a door. It kind of looks like a door, but it won't open.
Follow my lead.
Off we go.
You see that?
Interesting. It is finished. A trivial matter.
Anything else?
The ancient bas-relief depicts Cyclops building a stone tomb.
What a find! A trivial matter.
That's a curiosity. That's not the first time I've seen a tomb like that. Or a sarcophagi like that, I should say.
Interesting. It is finished.
A massive sarcophagus lies before you. In the dim light, you can see the edges of gleaming carvings that wind their way along the sides and up across the lid of the sepulchre. Walk around the sarcophagus. You walk around the sarcophagus, scudering where it meets the floor. As you do, you notice the fresh tracks in the dust. Someone has been here recently. The lid is made of a single slab of marble. It is covered in ancient runes and looks extremely heavy. The carvings of the coffin depict an ancient Cyclopean empire. They speak of rebellion where human tribes rose against their Cyclopean masters. Judging by the images, the riots were brutally suppressed, the leader of the rebels was caught, and the human armies slaughtered. Slide the sarcophagus lid aside. After several failed attempts, it moves, and spending a good deal of time catching your breath, the marble slab finally slides open. The slab hits the ground with the great booming noise echoing in the dark hall. To your horror, the sides of the coffin are raked with scratches and dried blood. Someone was buried here, and they were desperately trying to get out, but despite the scratch marks, there's nothing inside. The sarcophagus is empty. In the dark behind you, you hear a faint rustling sound. An involuntary shiver runs down your spine. All of a sudden, the grinding stone erupts around you. The lid of the sarcophagus, along with the walls, begin to slide open.
Victory is certain.
I mean,
Stay
one
behind
skeleton
me.
is not really, well, dangerous. Oh, there's more than one skeleton.
Consider me provoked.
Bring it!
You know, one of the things that I could try to take advantage of a lot more to get the
A calculated
sneak
risk.
attack, the flat-footed, is actually move people around in the initiative. That's something that I very, very rarely do. Where are all these people? Over down there. I mean, okay. Skeletons, they take far too long. Quick hobble!
Let us strike as one!
This is for you.
Tear them apart! This will hurt.
Still not as bad as the first one of them we opened up. Is that it?
Face me if you dare.
Let's try this way.
Does Octavia know greater invisibility? Don't know. Oh, I did not mean to press that button. I'm gonna go with no, because I don't think it's this low in level. Although I might have a scroll of greater invisibility and just not had to read it yet. Now, belly worth it from that.
So it's come to this.
But yeah, that's a great one to help out rogues with the whole flat-footed sneak attack bonus. Again, like I say, it's all like that's part and parcel of a stealth where it's like, yep, if they're unseen, then they definitely get a bit of a bonus.
I'll fight if I have to.
Do not falter! Ha!
Repent!
This is where I step in.
No, not really, because I don't think
This should do it.
she's as good with them. So he should be a 9. He's a 9, and more often than not, if it gets to the point, I mean, yeah, okay, that's a +1 crossbow, so it'd be a 10. It'd be slightly better in her hands.
You can't stop me.
But more often than not, if I'm concerned about Octavia or Tristan and Lindsay hitting, I'm more likely to be getting Octavia to be casting every spell that she's got,
Onwards!
which tend to be more useful in that kind of combat than the spells
You
that
forced my
Tristan
hand.
has. My coffee cup is empty.
Bring it!
And my water cup is also empty.
Serves you right.
A calculated risk.
You know, especially in some cases, it's all like with this, it's get a bonus to the damage, even though it's. No, I didn't want to pick that up really.
All according to plan.
Let's give them what they deserve.
I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. You're getting round to there. That leaves a way for you to charge up
What a find!
and then do a lot of damage. Now, the other factor to a certain degree is does she have the feat? I don't believe I don't think she's got it yet.
Deserved it.
It's one of them. I totally forgot that it existed until recently. And I don't think I've had a level up for everybody since then, kind of thing. Tristan's looking really injured.
Stay behind me!
I really should pay attention to this.
This will hurt.
Supplies! Ooh, that really was a surprise. Where's that thing on the wall? Lots of stuff. Which reminds me, I need to go through this. It's one of the problems with not really keeping your inventory clean. Because I never know which one of these spells is... Ooh. I think that was a protection aura. Bum bum bum. Or communal see invisibility. Blessing of the Faithful. Short. Yeah, that's one where it wasn't until I was cleaning up his taskbars earlier that I remember I didn't even remember that he had that, and to a certain degree, it's like, that could be useful. But at the same token, it's very much one where I feel a lot of the time I don't want to be spending every turn doing exactly the same thing to get that +2 bonus.
I see something.
What do you see?
A trivial matter.
Crumbling column is cracked and corroded as if acid was poured onto it. I touched the button. I have no idea what the button did. Gold. Robes of water. A secret room. A secret loot. A belt of mighty constitution. Some random junk. And I pushed the button and I don't know what it did. Didn't open that door. Didn't open that door.
What's that?
These orbs just floating in the ceiling are somewhat
As it should be.
disturbing.
A trivial matter.
An ancient scrap of script-covered leather. This item bears traces of last power. It seems you found a shard of a destroyed artifact. If you find all of the fragments, then an artisan with enough skill could restore it for you. Huh? Surprise! Oh, there you are. Oh, that's another thing that I can look.
Consider me provoked.
Let's
Go
try
away.
this way.
God dang it.
This should do it.
Let us strike as one!
Any last wishes?
I'll try to make
The other
this
thing about Octavia is like in this situation when she's flinging around them little globs of acid, it's slightly better against the skeletons because it's not resisted. Ooh, that didn't really help. Hammer, you go clobber that one. Thank you.
This is for you!
I mean, the Master Globs are slightly better when she actually gets a sneak attack off with it, but...
Do not falter!
This is where I step in.
So it's come to this.
Okay, you're most likely to blow up and then switch over to you and you blow up. No.
I'll fight if I have to.
A calculated risk. This will hurt.
Onwards!
Serves you right.
They go down!
And masterwork, 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 masterwork. So predictable. And another ancient leather scrap. And the door opened up in this room.
It is finished. A trivial matter.
Any more?
Let's try this way. This should do it.
You deserved it.
I'm fine playing with has 3 pets and 2 people wielding a reach weapon, so my sneak attack has plenty of flanking support. Yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, it's one of them where it's like, as I say, it's like you can do a lot more for the potential of, you know, getting the flanking, getting the flat-footed, to really boost up the damage output of a rogue.
Stay behind me!
It's just one of them. It's like I don't really feel. I won't say the necessity. It's more.
Any last wishes?
I don't want to be having to play this by thinking over every last little move and making sure that I never put a foot wrong.
Bring it! Wait! Repent!
Because I make so many mistakes, I forget so many abilities, and at the end of the day, for me, that's just not the kind of game that I want to play.
A calculated risk.
Bum, bum, bum. Right, it is coming up to quitting time. I don't really want to rush another room if we get attacked, and I'm getting a feeling that we're going to get attacked.
I'm listening.
Let's pop a heal, because some people are getting a little injured. And then save. And then let's go back to just talking for the moment. Let's bring up groove. And play some music. Yeah, haven't finished the game, restarted 4 times, each playthrough more optimal. And that's fair enough. You know, it's like I'm never going to tell you that you're doing it wrong or you should just commit to one playthrough, because one of the things is it's all like that's just something, you know. Back in the day when games weren't as long and weren't as developed, and you know, it was one of them where I didn't have as much money, so you know, if I bought a video game I would be replaying it to death. I would sit down and I would do really, you know, making sure that everything was optimal. And I kind of picked that up from my father. If you've ever played the video game, it's a little old now, and I'm not entirely sure if it's available anywhere, but Mech Commander, the first one, there's a lot of things in that if you just read the manual and believe everything you read in the manual. Thanks for the follow. I might have noticed. Oh yeah, Twitch was playing up, so yeah, sorry I didn't notice that. If you've read everything in the manual, it basically said that the clan weapons were slightly better, but far more money to maintain. And, you know, he didn't recommend them because you couldn't purchase them, you had to salvage them. So, whereas the Inner Sphere were more commonplace and robust because of their universal parts, and you could switch them in and out. By the by, the thing is, it's like if you actually delved into it and looked at all the numbers and optimized all the numbers, you could squeeze as much damage as you needed out of every tonnage that you could get in that game. And that's kind of a way that you didn't have to play it to be able to win it, but if you played it that way, it made it so much easier. And also, you know, it's one of them where it's like back in those times, it was like that'd be the new computer game that I got for the first time in like 3 or 4 months, and don't know what's on the horizon and what kind of detail to go for. So, you know, there's plenty of games out there that I have started up and I've played and I'm optimized and stopped, and then sort of gone back a bit and thought about it, sat down, crunched the numbers. And yeah, it's enjoyable, and I'm never going to turn around and say, oh no, you shouldn't be playing a role-playing game like that, because at the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, that's what you do. Yeah, I mean, that was the other thing is, like, once you did the math in the Mech Commander, you actually realized that there were some very key points that you had to hit. For example, as Kichigai mentions on the third quest, There was a mad cat that if you just ran up to it, you thought, oh, that's a lot bigger than me, and you shot the fuel tanks next to it and it blew up, and you were very lucky if you got it as salvage, but it will be a complete wreck. But if you actually did the whole tactical thing of drawing it out, pulling it back to the turrets, pulling it past the turrets so that the turrets would shoot it in the back, and weaken it that way, it very much tipped the scales for the rest of the campaign in your favor. And there's a few mechs like that. My dad's convinced, and I'm pretty sure there's one mech that actually had a bit of a bug in it, which was the Cougar. Yeah, the Cougar, where its entire structure weighed something like 3.5 tons, 2.5 tons. So you had a ridiculous number of weapons that you could throw in there. And by a certain point in the game, you could either be strolling through it because you've got a few of these and they were still valid because, you know, you needed 8 mechs and these were 35 tons a pop. And you've only got, you know, 300 tons to play with. That kind of thing. And yeah, the Cougar W, which was weapon class with the 3.5 ton frame, it was just, you know, and if you had a few of those, then it made the end game so much easier. If you didn't have the Cougar Ws, you could go for the Cougar Armors, which were still that side of ridiculous when it came to how many weapons that they could carry. But if you've gotten to that point and gotten really unlucky with the game and just not managed to get much in the way of mech salvage, you could be having to run that with Innisphere mechs of similar weight categories, or going with fewer mechs and taking heavier weapons in the hopes to balance it out. I think to a certain degree the game is possible if you went with all Innisphere mechs and all Innisphere tech. I just feel that, you know, if you sit down and do the math, you can make everything that little bit much easier for itself. It's one of them games that I'm surprised and disappointed hasn't made a not so much a comeback, but more of a resurgence. And, you know, good old games, GOG, as it's these days called, try bringing forward a bunch of really old games that won't work on modern systems and restoring them to some workable state. And they've done some really good work with some games, and they've had to really do a number on some of them. But at the same token, you know, Mech Commander has never been one of them, and I've yet to see a game that really has that same feel to it. So that's a bit of a disappointment. But anyway, it is now past the end of my stream. Thank you for indulging me in this bit of chat. Thank you again for all the follows. We'll be back with this next Tuesday at my usual time. Check my schedule, it'll all be in your local times. I will be back tomorrow with some more Cyberpunk 2077. And I will probably be streaming Saturday night with Kitchi Guy Neko on a co-op game of some variety. We've yet to decide what we're going to be playing this week. We are going to raid my friend Half Singer Games. She is playing some Animal Crossing New Leaf on her Switch. So I appreciate that that's probably not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But if you want to drop in and say hi from me, that'd be appreciated. If not, have a good one, and I shall see you next time. Taddy bye.